everyone, today I'll be teaching you how to make a deshelled seafood boil. I decided to make a small seafood boil for my mom and wanted to show you guys how I made it. So let's get started with the video. We're going to begin by making our Blove sauce. Start by slicing 1 onion, one green bell pepper, and 1 red bell pepper. By the by, you can also add yellow bell peppers and orange bell peppers. In a large skillet, melt 4 sticks of butter at medium heat. Once your butter has melted, add your onions and peppers. Then add 1/3 cup of your Blove Smackalicious sauce seasoning mix. Now add 1 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of hot sauce, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup of sweet chili sauce, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Mix everything together until well combined. Let it simmer on low for about 10 to 15 minutes or until your vegetables are translucent. When your sauce is done, take it off the heat and set it to the side. Make sure you thaw your seafood before you even start cooking. When your king crab has thawed, clean and wash it thoroughly. You want to make sure you get all the barnacles and dirt off of your king crab. Then, place your king crab on a tinfoil covered baking sheet. Bake your king crab in the oven at 400 degrees for about 4 to 5 minutes or until your king crab is hot. Once your king crab is finished cooking, take it out of the oven and then let it cool. When it's cool enough to touch, go ahead and break it open and take out the meat. Break each part of the king crab leg off. Then cut the side of the shell and break open the crab leg to remove the meat. Then peel the white fat off of the meat. Do the same thing with other parts of the crab leg. When you're cutting your crab leg, make sure you stay as close to the edge as possible so you don't tear or shred your crab meat. Make sure to remove any green nasty bits you see on your crab meat. When you're finished, set your king crab meat to the side. Alright, so now we're going to deshell our lobster. Cut open the bottom of your lobster. Peel back the bottom of the shell. Remove your lobster meat from the shell. Then remove the vein inside the lobster meat. Cut the top layer of the lobster open to ensure that you have removed all the veins and nasty bits. When you're finished, rinse your lobster clean and set it to the side. Now deshell and devein your shrimp. When you're finished, rinse and clean off your shrimp and set them to the side. Now we're going to prep our vegetables. Break your corn in half. Bam! You see that strength? The Hulk has nothing on me. Then rinse and clean off your corn. Once you're finished, set your corn to the side. After that, rinse and clean your potatoes. And proceed to cut them in half. When you're finished cutting your potatoes in half, set them to the side. In a large pot of water, add 1 teaspoon of liquid seafood boil, onion powder, garlic powder, Florida seafood seasoning crab and shrimp boil, and complete seasoning. Then bring your water to a boil. Cook your potatoes first. Boil your potatoes for 15 to 20 minutes. You'll know your potatoes are done if they're soft enough to pierce a fork all the way through them. When your potatoes are finished cooking, remove them from the pot and add them into a pan or bowl that you are going to use for your seafood boil. Then add your corn and sausage into the pot. Boil your corn and sausage for 5 minutes. When everything's done cooking, remove from the pot and add it to your pan. After that, boil your shrimp. The shrimp will cook really fast, so only cook it for about a minute or two. Alright, now boil your lobster. The lobster will also cook really fast. You'll know your lobster is finished cooking when it becomes firm. It shouldn't be slimy or mushy. Then boil and peel your eggs. You want to boil your eggs for at least 10 minutes. Then shock them with ice and peel your eggs. When all your ingredients are finished cooking and you've placed them inside of your pan, you can go ahead and start adding your sauce. And that's it! You are all finished with your deshelled seafood boil. Ugh, it smelled so delicious. Doesn't that image just make your mouth water? It looks so good. Oh, by the way, the reason I didn't add a lot of seafood is because I made this small seafood boil for my mom and I knew she would be eating dessert afterwards, so I decided to make the seafood boil a bit smaller than usual. Everything I used in the video will be down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! Hey everyone, today I'll be teaching you how to make some delicious fried seafood. We're going to be frying some king crab, lobster, snow crab, and more, so let's get started with the video. Begin by cleaning your king crab. After you finish with that, break apart your king crab leg. Then, using scissors, cut the side of the shell and break it open to remove the meat. Now we're going to move on to our lobster. Cut the top of the lobster tail open. You just need to cut a straight line down the center. Then, carefully peel back the shell without breaking it and pull out your lobster meat. Make sure not to completely remove the lobster meat from the shell. When you've taken out your lobster meat, take out any veins. Make sure to check the top and the bottom of the lobster meat. After that, clean and rinse off your lobster and then set it to the side. Now we're just going to deshell and devein our shrimp. Now that all of our seafood has been prepped and cleaned, we can go ahead and season everything. By the way, I'm also going to be frying some scallops. Alright, so the seasonings I used were pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, Old Bay, and Cajun Seasoning. and then whisk until smooth. To do this, I'm going to use an immersion blender, and I have been using this thing for everything. I love using it. Add a bit of hot sauce in your egg wash, whisk again, and you are all finished. Pour your egg wash in a pan and then set it to the side. In a pan, add flour, and then add pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, a bit of Cajun seasoning, and Old Bay. Mix everything together until well combined and then set it to the side. In another pan, add breadcrumbs. Then add the same seasonings as before. Now set that to the side. So my mom has a lot of fish fry that she bought, and we literally never use it, so I decided to use it for this video. I wanted to see which one was better, fish fry or breadcrumbs. Now that everything's prepared, we can start coating our seafood. For the breadcrumbs method, simply coat your seafood in flour. Shake off any excess flour when you're finished. Then coat it in the egg wash. And finally coat it in the breadcrumbs. When you're finished, shake off any excess breadcrumbs and then set it to the side. For the fish fry method, simply coat your seafood in the egg wash and then coat it in the fish fry. You actually do not need an egg wash for the fish fry. You can simply just coat your seafood in the fish fry, but I had enough egg wash, so I decided to just coat it in the egg wash anyway. When you're finished, shake off the excess fish fry and set it to the side. And just repeat this process until you've coated all your seafood. When you finish coating all of your seafood, prepare your fryer. Add vegetable oil in a deep fryer or a pot. Then heat up your oil. When everything is ready, go ahead and start frying your seafood. You'll know your seafood is done when it rises to the top, is golden brown, and there are less bubbles surrounding it. Make sure when you remove the seafood from the fryer, you're placing it on a plate or a dish that has paper towels so the paper towels can absorb the excess oil coming off of the seafood. And this is the result after I finish frying. So my thoughts are, when I do the breadcrumb method, it's a lot darker but golden brown, plus I feel like it smells better, but that's just in my opinion. With the fish fry, I feel like the fish fry makes the seafood look more golden, not as dark as breadcrumbs, but like an actual golden color. Plus, it creates more of a breading, like it's puffier, it looks more fluffy in a way. Plus, using fish fry is easier than doing the breadcrumbs. However, I do like how the breadcrumbs look just because of the color. However, I do like how the lobster looks coated in fish fry. By the way, I did make a sauce to go with it. It was just a simple sauce, mayo, mustard, hot sauce, and lemon juice. Oh, and seasoned salt and pepper. I didn't really measure it while I was making it, but I'll have some exact measurements in the description below. Alright, and this is the finished product. Everything came out great, especially the snow crabs. It was my first time frying snow crabs, so I'm glad it came out well. I wanted to fry snow crabs ever since my mom went to a restaurant that had fried snow crabs when she went to Fort Lauderdale, so I'm really glad it came out well. I really couldn't decide which one's better, fish fry or breadcrumbs. However, I do know that they both taste good and smell good. Fish fry is easier, but with breadcrumbs it has a better look in my opinion. But when it came to the lobster, I think the lobster looks way better with the fish fry than the breadcrumbs. When it comes to flavor, I think they're both pretty well seasoned. So honestly, I couldn't decide. Comment down below which one you think is the best. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Everything I used in the video will be down in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! Hey everyone, today I'll be teaching you how to make this delicious baked seafood boil. It's quick, easy, and super delicious. So let's get started with the video. We're gonna begin by preparing our ingredients. So I just started by cutting up some bell peppers. I cut up a green bell pepper, an orange bell pepper, and a yellow bell pepper. Adding bell peppers in your seafood boil is totally optional, you don't have to. I just like to add them in my seafood boil because they taste awesome and they have an amazing aroma. After you're finished with the bell peppers, go ahead and cut a half an onion into slices. When you're finished slicing your onion, set it to the side to use later. Now, deshell and devein your shrimp. When you're finished with that, set your shrimp to the side. In a small pot filled with water, add your eggs. You can add as many eggs as you want. I only added 4 because I was just making a small seafood boil. Bring the water to a boil and then cook your eggs for 10 to 13 minutes. When your eggs are finished boiling, place them inside an ice bath. Then peel the shell off. When you're finished, set your boiled eggs to the side. Next, clean some red potatoes. When you're finished cleaning your red potatoes, cut them in half. When you're finished, place your potatoes in a bowl. Cook your potatoes in the microwave for 5 to 7 minutes. When I cooked my potatoes in the microwave, I added a bit of water and placed some plastic wrap over the bowl. We cooked our potatoes in the microwave because it takes a lot longer for potatoes to cook. So by placing it in the microwave, we are able to soften them up a bit so they evenly cook with everything else. Now we're just going to place all our ingredients that we want in our seafood boil into the pan to bake in the oven. Begin by adding butter at the bottom of the pan. Then add sausage and corn in your pan. After that, add your potatoes. Then add your onions and your bell peppers. After that, add your boiled eggs and shrimp. Oh, and more butter if you'd like. Then add your seasonings. I added pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and Old Bay. Mix everything around a bit just to make sure everything is well coated in the seasonings. Now add your crabs. I added 2 snow crab legs. I already seasoned my snow crabs before putting them in the pan. Then I added some butter on top of the snow crabs. Then if you'd like, you can add more of your peppers and onions on top. You could also add more seasonings if you'd like as well. I added some Cajun seasoning. And before we put our pan in the oven, add some lemon slices. Cover your pan in tinfoil, then place it in the oven at 380 degrees for 20 to 30 minutes. While our seafood is cooking, we are going to make our garlic butter sauce. Begin by melting a stick of butter in a small saucepan over medium heat. Once your butter has melted, add 3 tablespoons of minced garlic. Make sure to reduce your heat to low or medium-low after your butter has melted. Then add the juice of half of a lemon. Then add 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, a half a tablespoon of Old Bay hot sauce, and some parsley. Mix everything together until well combined and you are finished. This garlic butter sauce is absolutely delicious. When you're finished with your sauce, go ahead and set it to the side. My mom had some extra lobster tails, so I decided to throw that into the seafood boil as well. Place 2 lobster tails on a tinfoil covered pan. Brush the lobsters with melted butter. Then add your seasonings. I added pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, Old Bay, and parsley. After that, add a bit more butter to your lobsters. Then place them inside the oven at 400 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes. Alright, and now this is what it looks like when everything was finished cooking. If you want, you could also add some of the garlic butter on top of your seafood. Add a few more lemon slices on top and a sprinkle of parsley, and you are all finished. And this is the finished product. Baking the seafood in the oven is actually pretty quick. Plus, there wasn't a lot to clean up either. It was actually pretty simple. I mean, you literally just stick all your ingredients in a pan and cook it in the oven. The only things you actually have to cook are the boiled eggs and the potatoes, but you just cook the potatoes in the microwave for like 5 minutes. The garlic butter was delicious as well. I would totally recommend giving the baked seafood method a try because it's super easy, well seasoned, and delicious. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Everything I used in the video will be down in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make delicious seafood boil ramen, so let's get started with the video. Begin by prepping your ingredients. Chop some green onions. Then dice 1 green bell pepper, 1 red bell pepper, and 1 onion. Next, slice 1 sausage, then deshell and devein some shrimp. When you have finished preparing all of your ingredients, set them to the side. Next, we're going to prepare the seasoning mix for the sauce. In a small bowl, add 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of Old Bay, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of lemon pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 1 teaspoon of parsley, and 1 teaspoon of light brown sugar. Mix everything together until well combined and then set your seasoning mix to the side. Next, we're going to make the sauce. In a saucepan over medium heat, melt 4 tablespoons of butter. Once the butter has melted, add a half a cup of diced onions, a half a cup of diced bell peppers, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. Then saute your veggies for about 3 to 5 minutes. When you have finished cooking your veggies, add 1.5 cups of seafood stock. If you don't have seafood stock, you can always use chicken broth instead. Next, mix in your seasonings. Then add 2 tablespoons of hot sauce, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and the juice of 1 lemon. Once you finish adding all of your ingredients, let your sauce simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes. Once your sauce has finished cooking, set it to the side. Now that the sauce is finished, boil some eggs. While the eggs are boiling, we're going to cook our snow crab legs. In a large pot of water, add 1 tablespoon of vinegar and 1 tablespoon of liquid seafood oil. Adding the vinegar makes the crabs easier to pick, while adding the liquid seafood oil adds flavor. Bring the water to a boil and then cook your crab legs for 5 minutes. I'm using snow crab legs, but you can use whatever type of crab you like. Once your crab legs have finished cooking, remove them from the pot and set them to the side. Next, in a pan over medium heat, cook your sliced sausage. Once the sausage has finished cooking, remove them from the pan. Then add 1 tablespoon of butter, and while the butter is melting, deglaze the bottom of the pan. Then place your shrimp into the pan and season them. I season my shrimp with pepper, Old Bay, onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika. After adding your seasonings, cook your shrimp for about 5 to 7 minutes. Once your shrimp have finished cooking, set them to the side. Next, in a pot of boiling water, cook your ramen noodles for however long it says to on the package. The eggs should be finished cooking by now, so all you have to do is peel and cut them. This is optional, but I also let my eggs marinate in some of the sauce for a bit before cutting them. Now that everything has been cooked, we can now assemble our ramen. Pour your sauce in a bowl. Then add the ramen noodles, and the toppings prepared before. When I had finished adding the toppings, I sprinkled some paprika and parsley on top. And this is the finished result. This was absolutely delicious and it looks great. I saw this trending on TikTok for a while and I really wanted to give it a try, and I'm so glad I did because it turned out really good. The sauce was really good and well seasoned. I love bell peppers in my sauce, it just adds so much flavor. If you haven't had seafood boil ramen yet, I totally recommend giving it a try. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Everything I used in this video will be down in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! Hey everyone! Today I'll be teaching you how to make my version of a seafood boil in a bag and my version of Blove Smackalicious sauce. Of course, this is totally improvised and not the original way you're supposed to make seafood boil in a bag, but it's chill because it tasted good anyway. I made a whole bunch of mistakes, but don't worry, I pinpointed each time I made a mistake, and at the end of the video, I'll be explaining exactly what I did wrong. Alright, let's get started. Before you get started with anything, thaw out your meats. I'm talking about your crabs, your mussels, your sausage, and your shrimp. We're gonna start by making the sauce. So first we're gonna start by cutting our vegetables. So right here I have a green pepper, a yellow pepper, and a red pepper. I like to cut my peppers by cutting out the stem first. Then I cut them in half and clean out the insides. After I've cleaned the insides of the peppers, I start cutting them. We're only going to use 1/2 of each bell pepper. I'm going to chop the bell peppers into nice bite-sized pieces and then put them in a bowl and set them to the side. Now we're going to chop an onion. I usually wear goggles I always wear goggles when I'm chopping an onion because I don't like how it burns my eyes. After chopping the onions, place them in a bowl. In a pan, melt 4 sticks of butter. Now we're going to add Blove Smackalicious sauce. We're only going to add 1/3 cup of the Blove Smackalicious sauce mix. I absolutely love her sauce. I'm just showing you guys how I like to make it. Now add your onions. Then add your bell peppers. I like to add bell peppers to the sauce personally just because I love bell peppers. It just makes the sauce sweet and delicious, and bell peppers are the bomb. Then add some ginger. I don't particularly like pickled ginger, so I don't add a lot, just maybe like a spoonful, you know? Then add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. After that, add 1 cup of water. Then add 1 cup of sweet chili sauce. I really like Dame Dash's butter sauce, so this part of the recipe was totally inspired by him. Then I added lemon juice from 1 lemon. After that, I added 1/8 cup of garlic because I'm not a huge fan of garlic, but I do like the flavor, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Alright, so now you're finished with the sauce. Let the sauce simmer on low for about 10 to 15 minutes or until the onions and bell peppers are translucent. Now that we've finished with the sauce, it's time to prep the rest of the food. Scrape the barnacles off of your snow crabs. Then set them to the side. Clean and break your corn. I did it! Cool! I have strength and whatever. Now wash and peel your potatoes. When you're finished peeling the potatoes, cut them in half. Now we're gonna deshell and devein our shrimp. Here's the thing, I don't like shrimp. I'm not particularly fond of shrimp, so I don't like touching it. So I wear gloves when I have to cook using shrimp. And that's the reason I'm wearing those gloves. I got them from Walmart. They're called glam gloves, and I love them. When you're finished, set your shrimp to the side. Now, fill a large pot with water. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of white distilled vinegar into the pot. This makes it easier for you to crack and pick the crabs. Then add 1 tablespoon of liquid seafood boil. Now we're gonna add our seasonings to the pot. First I added crab and shrimp boil Florida seafood seasoning. Then I added garlic powder, onion powder, and Old Bay. Then add your crabs and cook them for about 7 minutes. Okay, so in a slightly smaller pot, maybe about medium size, add the same seasonings that we did before. Now bring that to a boil. Alright, so the water boiled over because I added too much water, but you know, we're not gonna talk about that right now. We're not gonna mind it, alright? You know, everything was fine. Add your potatoes to the pot and then let it boil until the potatoes are soft enough to pierce through with a fork. I'm gonna be honest, I was doing like 50-11 things at the time, so I don't know how long I was cooking it for, but once you can pierce the potato and it goes all the way through with a fork, you know it's done. That's when you take it out. When the potatoes are finished cooking, take them out of the pot and set them to the side in a bowl. Now cook your corn for about 6 minutes. On a baking sheet covered in tin foil, we're going to place our king crabs down on there and then cook them in the oven at 400 for about 10 minutes, just to warm them up. Boil your mussels for about 2 minutes. Then boil your sausage for 10 minutes. Boil your eggs for about 10 to 15 minutes. Then finally, cook your shrimp for about 1 to 2 minutes. They cook really fast, like seriously. Keep an eye on them. Okay, so now we are finally done doing all the prep work. I don't have any measurements for all of this, just add as much and as little as you like. Like, I don't like shrimp, so I only cooked a little bit of shrimp, but if you do like shrimp, cook a lot of shrimp. I mean, it's your seafood boil, do what you want. So now I'm going to make a paste to cover and season the food even more. Start by melting 5 tablespoons of butter over medium to low heat. Then add 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, then I added 1 tablespoon of Old Bay, 1 tablespoon of crab and shrimp boil Florida seafood seasoning, 1 tablespoon of Cajun seasoning, about 2 to 3 tablespoons of paprika, and 1 tablespoon of crushed red pepper flakes. Go ahead and add more butter as you go along and just keep tossing everything until everything is completely covered. And this is the finished product. It looks delicious. How I wish I could eat this once more. Alright, now it's time to put the seafood into the bag. I got these large oven bags and I double bagged it because I was afraid the crabs were gonna pierce through. So we're just going to put the seafood into these oven bags. I reheated the Blove Smackalicious sauce, and now we're just going to ladle some of the sauce into the bag. I didn't add all of the sauce, I only added about half of it, just because like I didn't need it. I don't think it needed that much sauce. Now I'm just going to shake it up so that the sauce covers everything and it seeps into the crabs. Just make sure it's all incorporated real nice. It smelled so good. Let me just tell you, it smelled so good and it looks delicious. Alright, that's about it. Just pop it in the oven at 400 for 5 to 10 minutes just to warm it up, and that's it. You're done. Now I'm going to tell you everything I did wrong. My first mistake was not putting the potatoes in water after I had peeled them. Putting them in water prevents them from going brown. My second mistake was seasoning the water when I was boiling the food. You don't need to season the water because the paste I made before seasons the food well enough. Seasoning the water just adds more unnecessary salt. My third mistake was boiling everything separately. You don't have to boil everything separately, you can just throw them into the same pot. But I didn't do that, which made it very overcomplicated and unnecessary. My fourth mistake was pre-cooking everything. With seafood boil in a bag, you don't have to pre-cook everything. You throw all your ingredients inside a bag with the seasonings and some butter, and you throw it in the oven. So, pre-cooking everything just made it overcomplicated and unnecessary. This is an overcomplicated version on how to make seafood boil in a bag. I'll probably make another video on how to make it the right way. I understand this is not the way to do it, but I didn't want to scrap the video. Plus, it still tasted pretty good. Hopefully you learned something from my mistakes and you got some good tips out of this. This was a really good learning experience for me though. I'll definitely have to make this again, but the right way. Alright, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!
Good. You know how you made it?
Yeah, I filmed myself making it.
No, that is good.
I'm gonna put this in the bloopers. I film your face right now, but I know you'd kill me.
I'll bust you right in the eye.
See how she treats me? You see how she treats me?
No, that's good. Whoa! That thing spicy? That thing good. Woo! You need to make that paste again.
Should I just make another one and toss these in it?
Well, yeah, if you want to. Because we probably need a little more paste like that there.
You just want more.
Oh, I'm finna go get dressed.
Anyway, I didn't toss these in there because I knew they'd get all mush. You know, I'm not gonna do
But
it.
if you
It's
want to
gonna
make
get
some more paste, then you can put that in there.
No, I'm not gonna do it because I know these will.
Make some more paste. I've been trying to get around. You know, I try to be nice about it. I need you to make some more of that paste now. I'm tired of trying to get around to this.
Hey everyone, today I'll be teaching you how to make a Cajun shrimp seafood boil. So let's get started with the video. We're going to begin by boiling our eggs. Place the desired amount of eggs that you want your seafood boil in a pot of water. Bring the pot of water to a boil. Cook your eggs for 10 to 12 minutes. When your eggs are finished boiling, place them inside an ice bath to cool. Then peel your eggs and set them to the side. Now we're going to clean our potatoes. When you're finished cleaning your potatoes, cut out any of the eyes and then cut them in half. Place your potatoes in a bowl and then cook them in the microwave for 5 to 7 minutes. When you're finished, place your potatoes to the side. Now cut an onion into slices. Then chop a red bell pepper into slices as well. Once you're finished with the bell pepper, cut a lemon into slices. Now peel and devein your shrimp. When you're finished, set your shrimp to the side. In a pan, add butter. Then add the ingredients you prepared before. When you're finished, add your seasonings. I added pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, Old Bay, and Cajun Seasoning. Mix everything around just to make sure that all of your ingredients are coated in the seasonings. Finally, add a bit more butter and some lemon slices on top. Cover your pan in tin foil and then place inside the oven at 400 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes. I decided to cook my corn separately because it was frozen and I didn't want to place the frozen corn in the pan with the rest of my ingredients and then bake it, but I also didn't want to cook the corn and then place it inside the pan and then bake it because I was afraid it would overcook. So I just boiled it and set it to the side until everything was done baking. Now we're going to make a Cajun butter sauce. In a small saucepan, melt 1 stick of butter over medium heat. Once the butter has melted, add 1/4 cup of chicken broth. Reduce your heat to low. Then add 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. Then add 1/4 cup of diced onions, 1 teaspoon of Cajun seasoning, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of Old Bay, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, the juice of 1 lemon, 1/4 teaspoon of Slap Your Mama seasoning, 1 or 1/2 tablespoon of hot sauce, and some parsley. After that, mix everything together until well combined. When you're finished, set your Cajun butter sauce to the side. Make sure that when you're making this sauce, you adjust it so it fits your taste. If you don't want a spicy butter sauce, then you can always just make this regular garlic butter sauce. Add 1 stick of butter in a saucepan and then melt over medium heat. When the butter has melted, add 2 to 3 tablespoons of minced garlic. Make sure to reduce your heat to low or medium low. Then add 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, 1 or 1/2 tablespoon of hot sauce, the juice of half a lemon, and some parsley. Now that your food has finished cooking in the oven, pour your butter sauce over your food. However, if you don't want to pour your butter sauce over your food, you can always just place it on the side. After that, you are all finished. And this is the final product. This is super easy to make and it is really delicious. It's spicy and packed full of flavor. By the way, I boiled the corn for 5 minutes. I also cooked the potatoes in the microwave so they would soften up a bit, since potatoes take a really long time to cook, and since I cooked them in the microwave, they would cook evenly when I baked them with the rest of the ingredients. The butter sauce I made was pretty good. Just make sure you adjust it to your liking. I just made mine like extremely spicy. But like I said before, you can always make a garlic butter sauce instead if you don't want it to be spicy. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Everything I used in this video will be down in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! Hey everyone, today I'll be teaching you how to make buffalo fried seafood. I will also be teaching you how to make some homemade buffalo sauce and some In-N-Out copycat fry sauce. So let's get started with the video. We're going to begin by making the buffalo sauce. Melt 3 tablespoons of butter in a small saucepan over medium heat. When the butter is melted, add 2/3 cup of red hot original hot sauce. Then add 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1/2 tablespoon of white vinegar, 1/8 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/8 teaspoon of pepper, and 1/8 teaspoon of Cajun seasoning. Whisk everything together until well combined. Then place your sauce off the heat and into a container. Make sure to peel and devein your shrimp. Make sure you clean and deshell all of your seafood. Season your seafood. The seasonings I used were pepper, onion powder, Cajun seasoning, and Creole seasoning. In a bowl, crack 4 eggs. Then add 1 teaspoon of hot sauce. Whisk until smooth. When you're finished, set it to the side. In a small pan, add a good amount of flour. Now add some seasonings to your flour. I added pepper, Creole seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, Cajun seasoning, and Old Bay. Mix everything together until well combined. In another small square pan, add some breadcrumbs. Season the breadcrumbs with Cajun seasoning, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. Then mix until everything is well combined. Pour your egg mixture inside of a small pan as well, and then you are ready to start coating your seafood. Alright, so first you want to coat it in flour, and then into the egg mixture, and then back into the flour, and then back into the egg mixture. Then you coat it in the bread mixture, and then back into the egg mixture, and then back into the bread. I know this seems like a lot, but it's totally necessary. Your seafood needs a thick coating, because when it cooks inside the air fryer, the seafood's juices are going to come out and make your fried seafood all soggy and gross, and that isn't what you want. We're creating a thick coating so that doesn't happen and your fried seafood stays crispy. You could also try doing flour, then egg, then bread, then egg, then bread again. It might be a tiny bit soggy in some places though. Alright, so with the mussels we're only doing one layer. Dip in the flour, then dip in the egg, and then dip in the breadcrumbs. Since the mussels are already cooked, they don't need as much breading or coating as the other pieces of seafood. Now place your pieces of seafood inside the air fryer. Make sure not to overcrowd the air fryer. Just cook them a few pieces at a time. Three minutes into cooking your seafood, flip them over. Once your seafood is finished frying in the air fryer, take them out. When you're cooking your mussels, only cook them for about 3 minutes at 370 degrees. Pour your buffalo sauce in a small pan. Then coat your seafood. Now we're just going to cook some fries in the air fryer. Once it's been about 10 minutes, my fries are usually done. Place your fries in a bowl and then add some seasoned salt. Shake up the bowl until your fries are evenly coated. Now we're going to make a simple fry sauce. This sauce is actually a copycat recipe from In-N-Out. In a small bowl, add 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. Then add 1/4 cup of ketchup, 1/8 cup of relish, 1/2 teaspoon of mustard, 1/2 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Mix everything together until well combined. Put everything together and you are all finished. Go ahead and enjoy your buffalo fried seafood with fries and dipping sauce. You can eat the buffalo fried seafood with ranch or blue cheese dressing. Honestly, I like blue cheese way more than ranch. By the way, I know the coating is really thick, but that was to prevent the seafood from becoming soggy and falling apart. You can add a lighter coat and see how that does, like maybe just do double breading it instead of double floured, double breaded. Or you could try using a different breading. Then again, if you like it thick, this is totally for you. Thank you so much for watching the video. Everything I used in the video will be down in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!